Welcome to another episode of Tarnished Tutorials. Today we will be taking on Margott, the Omen King. Now if you had a hard time with Margott the first time, I'm afraid to say it doesn't get any easier. But the fight is a lot of fun, and without further ado, let's just get into it and see what this guy has cooking for us. I don't have Flame on for any particular reason, it's just a little bit extra damage and it looks cool. The first move we're going to take a look at is his giant spear lunge. This is probably the most important move for a strength build because this is the move that gives you ample time to retaliate. He's going to throw it at you just like that, and then followed by a large lunge in the air. When he hits the ground, you can hit him with the heaviest attack you got. In this case, I am using the Lion's Claw, not because it's optimal, but because I am doing a Guts build. When you're behind him, you can see him crouch a little bit, and you need to watch out for the spinning rat tail move. That's his way of getting back to you if you're behind him. When you see him preparing a lunge like this, it means that he's about to start a vicious combo that's going to take a few rolls to get through. Spacing is extremely important, especially with Margit and any boss. In this fight, I find mid-range to be the most effective, as you can usually see what he's doing, and especially in this case, in the strength build, you're basically just waiting for certain attacks to punish him on. This combo in particular will have an open at the end, so dodge his initial lunge, get some space, and then roll away twice while he finishes his combo. This is the end of the combo. When he comes down with this, you have time to retaliate. You cannot go wrong with the jump heavy. You might see this move a lot, especially if you're playing mid-range. He's going to start running all the way around with a very delayed swing. Work on the timing, but once you get it down, it's really not that bad. Just roll towards the sword that's coming at you. This spear is going to come out pretty fast, so watch out for it, and it's always followed by some swings from the right, so be mindful of that. I recommend rolling to the right away from the sword that's going to be following the spear. Nothing too special about these daggers. He's throwing two at a time, but I mean, you roll, right? You're good. Either you get hit or you don't. I think he basically throws two daggers just so you can't walk and avoid his daggers. I think it's a pride thing. As you can see, he's getting prepared for another combo. Like I said, this is one of the combos you are able to punish him on. So, as always, when you see him up in the air coming down, get ready to retaliate. Once you get about 30% of his health knocked down, he's going to start whipping out this move. You got to run away, get some good distance between you and him, but watch out because the swords are going to come into straight lines that are going to reach quite far. So there's going to just be small spaces in between the swords, in which case you will have to fight Margit. So now he's going to apply the pressure, and I got lucky because he did the spear move, which is the easiest move to punish, almost always followed by the tail swipe, long lunge. Now he starts connecting his moves. He's going to become more aggressive. Don't forget to punish. This running spear, he's going to lock onto the first couple seconds. So just wait until he gets close enough and then roll to the right because he can follow up with a sword swipe with his right hand. Just remember to do it at the last minute. This is the end of a different chain of attacks he uses where he'll lunge at you, you'll do a piercing strike towards you, and then followed by a leaping attack. And as always, when he jumps in the air, that means you have a chance to retaliate. Like the first time you fought Margit, he's going to be whipping out that hammer. He has a couple different moves he can do with it. In this case, it's just going to be the one power swing, but you got to watch out for later because he'll do that 360 hammer spin, in which case you need to get really close up to his right side and just time your rolls repeatedly to avoid the barrage. In this case, however, as you can see, I've got a fair distance, so I'm probably just going to roll away. Notice how more aggressive he gets the further into the fight you go. As a strength build, you're going to be finding yourself controlling the battle more than anything. That's my favorite move. There's going to be a slight AoE with this phase change, and watch out for those explosions, they will hurt you. His sword has become cursed, so everything's going to hit a little bit harder. Most of the moves are pretty much the same, he's just far more aggressive. Watch out for this. This is the multiple swing in hammer hit I mentioned earlier. Probably the one I struggle with the most in both fighting Margit and Margott. How I got around it with Margott, I didn't avoid it successfully in this particular fight. If you can't get distance, however, you'll have to roll towards his sword arm and he's going to be hitting. So watch out for that spinning hammer combo. There's going to be a total of 5 attacks, the 5th one being a slightly slower, heavier attack. Kind of similar to Margit's cane smash, he's going to apply blood to his sword and come flying at you, except it's not just the one attack, it's going to be followed by a slight barrage. Whenever he coats his sword with blood, most of his attacks can be avoided by rolling into him and staying close. He's going to have quite a wide AoE, and he's going to close the distance between you, so this really is the only option for the most part. When he coats his weapon and he gets in this stance in a prolonged fashion, that means he's coming to lunge you. This is sort of his grapple attack, where he'll get you on his sword, and it's just going to cause a lot of damage. So watch out for that, watch out for the delay, and roll towards him to avoid it. That spear move definitely took me a little bit to get the hang of. That normally would have been a good time to retaliate. However, I'm playing it a little bit cautious in this particular take, since I was probably frustrated with dying. Sometimes you just need to get that win, and playing cautiously in this particular fight really isn't terrible, since there's very few windows to get your hits in, honestly, as a melee build anyways, or strength in particular. But this one would have been able to get behind him and deal damage, and watch out for his retaliation. As always, watch out for the bleeding lunge. It is a good opportunity to get a poke in if you're using the greatsword. Like I said, I was playing a little defensively. It's not an easy life for strength build in this game, but I mean, once you get his moves on lockdown, even just avoiding his attacks I find really fun. Try not to get absolutely punished yourself like I did. He will absolutely destroy greed, and you gotta be careful of those explosions. They're really a big nuisance, and reason why I don't get as much retaliation as I like. The multiple swing and hammer hit, easily avoided if you got the distance. As you can see, avoided all his heavy blood attacks. The blood attacks are the best to retaliate, honestly. That and the giant lunge attack, so you're actually lucky if you can get a lot of those, if you receive a lot of those attacks, because they're fairly easy to avoid. And as you can see, that's how you get your retaliation in. And that's that. You beat Morgott. Moving on. Good job. See you on the next episode of Tarnished Tutorials. Two hits. I can get 2 hits in there. Oh, you're not today, bud. You so done with you. What the fuck is he even doing? Get out of here. You're done. You're done, man. 2 days? 2 days fighting you? Oh. Ah!